Hi everyone, it's Ruby, also known as Light of Ruby. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you are here. I was recently asked to chat about spiritual healing more, so I'll be going into more detail with that. I do want to let everyone know that I am an energetic healer at the mastery level. I am a Reiki master. I am under the 𝐖𝐈 lineage, so there's different lineages within Reiki, and what I've come to learn is that a lot of things also come from your own spiritual roots and understanding. So through Reiki, it's kind of more, to me personally, like an initiation that you receive, not just for Reiki itself, but you'll start to understand your roots from your ancestry even more. At least that's kind of what I feel like I've seen even other Reiki masters, that as we grow in our own healing journey and actually work to heal others as well, that's kind of what I've seen and experienced, not just with myself, but with what I see with other people too. So I want you to know that a lot of what I'm going to speak on is, of course, through the energetic healing and knowledge that I have, but part of it does come from my own understanding of my roots. So spiritual healing is basically this part of yourself that you heal on a soul level, and I'm going to do my best to explain this in the most simplest terms, because I think I've come to a level where I feel like it's common sense, but I know it's not common sense. So I'm going to do my best to explain it in the best way that I can, and in the most simplest terms, because I want everyone, if I could have everyone heal their souls, I think it'd be the most beautiful thing. We'd live in a more harmonious and loving world, and it'd just be a really nice and better place to live in. So basically what healing your soul means, and spiritual healing is really healing your soul. And what I mean by that is, so say you grew up and you don't really understand a lot of the things that happened when you grew up. If you grew up in a lot of adversity, which a lot of us unfortunately do, and you're picked up certain habits and behaviors that were bad from your parents, or other family members, and now you are that way, and it's really hard to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I don't want to be this way. You just keep living that way. Well, basically spiritual healing is looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I don't want this. This is not who I want to be. Even if it's the smallest thing. For example, and this is just one of the things that spiritual healing teaches you, is shadow work, is what they call it. So those inner parts of yourself that you picked up that aren't necessarily healthy for you, but for some reason you continue doing it even 10 years later, but it's not good for you. And some people, I see sometimes people joke about it. They're like, oh, something's wrong with me because I do this, and they'll make jokes like that, but continue doing the behaviors, right? So you're not tapping into that shadow side of yourself. You're just pushing it down, suppressing that part of yourself, so that spiritual healing is never going to happen through your soul. So basically, say I have a behavior. So for example, this is one that I'm not proud of, but I'm going to be honest about. So every time in the past when I would get hurt by men, I would resort to heavy drinking, and that was my coping mechanism. I would get hurt and I would run to alcohol. I mean, I wouldn't run, but if everyone around me was out clubbing, then I'd be yeah, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go and get drunk too. And I would do it especially when I was really hurt by men and just getting wasted. I remember there was one time I blacked out And it was like, you know, I tell myself, like, I'm not ever doing that again. Like, that was so embarrassing. And so for me, it was like that heavy drinking, like, that is in my family too, right? Like, not saying that like everyone does it, but like from my previous, like my father used to be a heavy drinker, right? And I love him. He helps me a lot when it comes to my spiritual self now that he's on the other side. But like when he was here, he was a very heavy drinker. And I think part of it was like I learned that behavior too. Like if I was hurt or whatever, like I just suppress it, suppress it, suppress it. So that's what alcohol does to us. Like it makes us suppress our emotions. And that's not healthy for us. So there was a point when I blacked out that time. I remember I told myself, like, I just don't ever want to do that again. And I haven't since. I didn't ever since that time. But I do feel that part of my healing journey was learning that heavy drinking is not something that's healthy. It's not good for your brain. It's not good for your spiritual healing. It's just not good for your soul at all. It's really a poison to our body. So it's like learning that your body's a temple, that you love it, and there's different ways that you need to learn to really love yourself on a soul level, okay? So another example is like sexual relationships in this modern society. That is a huge one. Because what modern society has taught us is that having sex with anyone and everyone is okay. And it's really not. It's simply not. And the reason is because everything is an energy. Like you have your own energetic blueprint as a soul. We all do as souls on this earth. And by you having your own energetic blueprint, then you are affecting other people when you sleep with them. So say you've only been with like 2 people and you sleep with someone who's been with 50. What happens when you have intercourse with this person? You could start picking up energies from whoever they've slept with, because that's what they're carrying in their energetic body if they're not actively healing that, right? So I'm not saying that like you're going to be forever that way, but if you're not tapping into spiritual healing, then yes. Like if you have never had a healing session energetically, like an energetic healing session, those energies could be around your body, around your aura, and like certain emotions and things and behaviors could be picked up energetically in that way, and you wouldn't even know where it's coming from. Like you wouldn't know because you just slept with someone and now you're starting to feel a lot of anxiety or depression, things like that, right? And you really just don't know where it's coming from, but it's because you slept with this person who slept with like 50 people and they never had an energetic healing, right? So in that way too. But if that person does actively like get energetic healings, then that's fine because they're constantly clearing that energy. Like if you want to have active sex like that, just make sure you're spiritually healing yourself literally all the time. Right? But the thing is, people don't do that. They don't. Like in modern society, you've been taught that like it's okay to have all this sexual intercourse without getting energetic healings and spiritually healing your soul. But it's really not, because that's how you end up in a lot of misery within yourself, because you are attempting to cope through external things or people that aren't really healthy for us and our body. Like everyone is worthy, whether you're a man, a woman, you know, you're like worthy. And I just need you to know that you're worthy of love in its most beautiful natural form and state, and that is a soul love that you can experience, where you don't have to have sex right away. Like you don't. So that is another example. But basically that's what spiritual healing is these bad behaviors that we've picked up either through our own family and like what we were taught and behaviors that were around us, or through modern society, because it can be either or. Because I feel like, you know, hypersexuality is something that we picked up through a modern society, and it's not a healthy thing for us on a soul level. Your soul is basically this part of you that is always going to know best, and through spiritual healing you get deeper into that part of yourself. You get deeper into knowing that part of yourself. You get to experience that part of yourself that wants the best for you, and through spiritual healing you're going to be able to really tap into yourself in that way and know, okay, when I'm doing is wrong, I'm not gonna do it, and actually like do that thing, right? Like actually get rid of whatever it is you need to get rid of, and positively work towards making changes. And it obviously doesn't happen overnight. It could take months, it could take years for some, but the point is that you start actively doing those things because you are now spiritually healing on a soul level. So there's certain things that you learn, like lessons that your soul maybe needs to learn, so you'll go through those experiences. There is, you know, just maybe if it is just behaviors, then you're going to be able to learn to like get rid of those behaviors that aren't healthy for you. So it's little things like that that really make you come into the spiritual healing. And that's really what spiritual healing is. It's just on a deeper part of ourselves, because a lot of times for some people it's really, really hard to make a change in a behavior or in a way of thinking. Like it could be a mindset. Like if you think a certain way and you can't get out of it, it's because your soul is stuck there. Like there's something within your soul that's stuck within that like behavior of yours or that thinking pattern of yours that is unhealthy. So through spiritual healing, you'll be able to remove those parts that don't align with yourself. And so through spiritual healing, you'll be able to become more authentically yourself, because your soul always knows the way. And that is a fact, that your soul always knows the way. But when you have all this emotions and behaviors and mindsets, and maybe for a lot of people, traumas that affect us emotionally, they affect our energetic blueprint, they affect us on a soul level. Like trauma experiences that we've had within our body really affect us. So even things like that are like meant to be cleared so you can get deeper into your soul, because that will make you connect deeper to your authentic self. And your authentic self is going to be the most beautiful thing you'll ever experience. But of course, you're still human, so even with spiritual healing, you'll still experience, you know, challenges and things like that, but you're going to be able to experience the world on a different level. And it's really a beautiful thing, because you let go of all the negativity that you know isn't good for you. You start loving yourself, knowing that respect is the highest form of intimacy for yourself and for others. You start knowing that unconditional love is the highest form of love everywhere for everyone and everything. So it can go a lot deeper, but I feel like that is the best way that I can explain it, and for people to be able to understand it on a level that is more understanding to everyone, or understandable to everyone. So if you have more questions, definitely ask if I can do like a part 2, or you have more questions regarding this video or something that you didn't understand, or if I wasn't so clear about it, definitely ask. I'll make another video. I want to be able to give you the knowledge that you need, the information that you need to be able to understand spiritual healing, and to really know that it's really the most beautiful thing you will experience if you decide to go through with it, with, you know, energetic healing on a soul level. You won't ever be like, I want to go back, because you won't ever want to. You know, so I hope that you are able to understand this in the best way. But again, if you have questions, definitely ask me. I'm always here to answer any questions for anyone, and I hope you have a real beautiful day. And I'll see you on my next video, whenever that is. Bye.